What's the goriest, most extreme part that we could experience?
I want to play a game.
We want to scare these people to death.
Let the game begin.
It's like being in the Saw movie.
For us as designers of these haunted attractions, our job is to appease the most hardcore fan of the film series. So we start actually with the internet. We start with the blogs of all the fans out there. We look at what's their favorite traps, and then we take all that information and then we watch every single movie over and over and over again. And while we're watching the movie, we're taking little notes on Post-it notes. And what we're actually doing is we're dividing it into three things: environments, characters, and scares. And then you take all that information and you start posting it up on the wall and you start composing the maze. And that's really where it starts.
Where's the Jigsaw scare coming from? Oh, he's over here.
We had both have seen all the films before. We're big horror fans, actually, so we were already kind of in line with it. And then really trying to figure out what traps to do, and then also what story to tell, and then how each trap would configure within the room, and then really how to configure this maze within amount of space that we do have.
When you think about it, when you're making a movie, if you're doing a special effect, it only has to work for the camera once. Here in our world, it has to work every time, every 10 seconds, literally thousands of times a night. So even though the disciplines are similar to making a movie, the way we have to construct and build these things are really, really different.
Everything has to be attached in some way, shape, or form, which I have a great crew and Tony that, you know, I really drive it home that everything's got to be mechanically attached, glued, and I come through and grab and pull on everything because our guests are going to do that as well. It's very hands-on.
This one's ready to go on the truck. Put it, drop it in place, attach it to the wall, and pretty much done. For me, plain rooms are boring, and the more you can add and tell to the story by what you put into a room, that's what I really enjoy. The teamwork involved from the designers and the other production people, the technicians and the special effects people, just the effort to get the maze put together and the rooms looking like movie quality.
And every single scene of this attraction is like a 10-second scene. So when you're designing it, you have to keep that in mind. So right now we're in the bathroom, and of course this relates to the bathroom trap from the original Saw.
Dr. Gordon's here, and then Adam is popping out from a hidden position. It's just a quick, like you're trying to abduct him, and then you're back out again.
And then we come in with our characters. And we run through every scene with them. We explain everything to each one of them, and then put them in those positions, and then sit with them and explain what you're doing in that position and what we want you to look for. We want you to be safe. We want you to have fun and have a great time, but still scare these people to death. That's why they're here.
So what you want to do is got to go out of the light and then come right up to it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We want them to get it straight from the horse's mouth. We want the main art director and the main creative director to actually explain what we were thinking of so that they understand what their role is in this attraction. So conceptually, we decided to locate Saw within Jigsaw's lair, which is pretty obvious if you watch the film series. Jigsaw has his lair, that's where a lot of the traps and contraptions take place. So you start there, but then you have to think about it in terms of what's different from watching a movie and something we create where you're actually living it.
Find the path with a razor wire.
One of the first traps you experience in Saw Game Over is the razor wire trap. So for us, we decided we don't want our guests just to walk by that and see poor Paul caught up in the razor wire. We're going to put him through the razor wire trap. So that meant we had to figure out a way to construct, prop razor wire that they would look like razor wire and feel like razor wire, but wouldn't, cut our guests to ribbons, although that would be fun. And then after we get through the razor wire trap, we transition into the original Saw movie, because we're still in that world, and we take you in the bathroom trap.
We're trying to give a live-action 3D representation of the film that you're walking through and like, oh my God, I'm in the bathroom. There's Jigsaw on the ground, Dr. Gordon, and where's Adam? Where's Adam? Well, Adam's behind the wall here, and he comes out for the scare, that kind of a thing.
There's a really quick pop out scare and then back behind the curtain because we want to keep the people moving. So you're trying to scare them forward.
When I try to design a room, You know, I'm trying to design it in a way where, you know, you're not just blowing through it. You know, you have to crisscross through it, or something might be kind of in your way that you're moving around, which we've got Jigsaw laying down here on the floor in here.
We use virtually every trick in the book when we create these haunted attractions, and one of the things we use is the sense of smell. So when you walk into the bathroom, not only does it look like the bathroom from the Saw film series, and we hit every single detail, but also it smells like a bathroom. So we work with these companies that make specialized scents, and yes, they actually make a urine scent. So we pump in the smell of urine as you're walking through the bathroom, so it really assaults all your senses. At the beginning, when you walk in the furnace trap, we have smoke. We actually pump in the smell of burning flesh. You see Obi behind the window, and he's pounding on the glass, and his face is all burned. Fire effects in the room, smoke, smell of burning flesh, and exactly like this. You're banging on the glass, you're burning up. Yeah, that's right.
And you're walking parallel with the furnace, and you take a corner, and then there's a puppeteer inside that pushes out Obi, which is a puppeted corpse that has a water spray as well.
Another trap was the freezer trap. There's the naked chained up girl. She's got the array of water nozzles around her, and they're going on and off, and she's alternately freezing and unfreezing.
We have water spraying on her constantly, just like in the film.
So on the other side of these walls, we have a massive HVAC unit with a return vent directly above our guests. So the minute you push through those strip curtains and you enter the freezer trap, you are blasted with this sub-zero frigid air, and you feel the cold.
And on the opposite side of the room, we've got a scare of Jeff coming out with a frozen look, but he can spray them, get them more attracted to that, and he comes out from behind. We go into the needle pit. Well, we're on a concrete surface, so we're not digging down into here, but we've elevated that up. Basically trying to get in this area, which we're going to open up, where there's going to be the key in the glow state.
So it's just writhing and trying to find that key. And the needles are all the way around her, and I think we used something like 6,000 needles that had to individually be opened and treated so that they looked used and bloody. The needles have to come out. They have to be replaced with prop needles. And she is literally immersed in this trap, and then we apply that to the makeup as well, because every one of these actors gets a special prosthetic makeup.
So it's another, see this girl with horrifying needles all over her trying to get out, and then you get hit by Jigsaw on the right side.
Another really challenging trap in the Saw film series, and one of the most famous of all, is the reverse bear trap. Now, of course, Amanda has the bear trap on her head. She's told that the key is inside the body of her dead cellmate, but when she picks up that scalpel to cut into him, he wakes up.
We do another illusion gag where we've got a body. The guy with the question mark on his chest, he is within the table. You're pulling out these guts, so it's just going to be very stringy. So, I mean, it's just going to have a really good visceral look to it.
And you've got control of a water spritzer, which is right there.
We built a fake body form with silicone guts and intestines and livers that the actress playing Amanda wearing the bear trap can actually pull out of this guy. And then, of course, we spray you with blood, so we're viscerally affecting you.
We're in this room called the clean room, which I call it the clean room actually. So this is from one of the Saw films as well. And we got the shotgun collar trap over here.
There's a sound effect on the track of the bone saw cutting through bone. It's like the autopsy scene.
Yeah.
And you can cut away and peel. You can just pull it. And you just like it sits on his face, and you just kind of pull it off as if you're cutting away his face. When you do the thing and pull it off, you can hold it up to people for a second. And I mean, you can go like that, you know.
Peels the face, water spray out. We've got Jeff over here coming here for another scare with the bone cutter that he used on Jigsaw as well. And then he'll chase you out here for the final scare.
We have lighting, we have audio, we have makeup, we have costumes, and then we use a lot of film production. So we wear a lot of hats when we create an attraction like this.
Let the game begin.
This is SFX. This is what we use to run the audio for the mazes. There's 9 triggers throughout the maze that send us a signal, and then through that we send lighting a signal to do the strobes or whatever subs are that they program for each room. This is all the general room audio that plays, and then this is where you'll see all the triggers pass by as the actors hit them.
The great thing working with Twisted Pictures and Lionsgate is they get it. They love this film series, and I think they're very energized and excited about bringing Saw to life for our guests, because there's nothing better than living a horror movie.
When you see people going through and screaming their heads off and saying how cool that is.
It is so freaking scary.
It's very satisfying once the event is over. Then the work is done.
Game over.